Setting boundaries can feel like standing alone on a vast battlefield, armed only with your own conviction. Yet boundaries are not walls to shut people out. They are the firm, clear lines that define where you end and another begins. They are the acts of self-respect that protect your heart and mind from erosion. Without boundaries, toxicity seeps in like water through cracks, slowly drowning your spirit. But when you set a boundary, you declare your worth silently but unmistakably. You say to yourself, I matter. My peace matters. This simple declaration is revolutionary. It shifts you from victim to guardian of your emotional realm. Many hesitate to establish boundaries because they fear judgment, guilt, or rejection. They worry that saying no or distancing themselves will make them appear cold or unkind. These fears are shadows cast by old patterns, by the toxic narratives planted by hidden haters themselves. They thrive when you doubt your right to protect your energy. But real kindness begins with kindness to yourself. True strength shows when you honor your limits, even if others don't understand or approve. Boundaries are not acts of cruelty, they are acts of courage. Learning to say no is one of the most powerful skills you can cultivate. No is not just a word, it is a shield and a sword. It guards your time, your values, your mental clarity. Every time you say no to negativity, to manipulation, to exhaustion disguised as obligation, you reclaim a piece of your power. This word frees you from invisible chains. The discomfort of saying no is temporary. The relief of self-protection lasts far beyond that moment. Practice this freedom. Each no is a step toward emotional sovereignty, a signpost on your journey to strength. Setting boundaries also means limiting contact with those who drain you. It is not about severing ties in anger, but about creating space where your mind can breathe. Emotional distance does not require harsh words or grand gestures. Sometimes it is quiet, choosing when to respond and when to step back. It is understanding that your energy is finite and sacred. Protecting it is not selfish, it is survival. When you guard your emotional space, you create room for healing, for clarity, and for growth. This process demands honesty with yourself. It means listening deeply to how you feel after each encounter. If someone leaves you feeling depleted, anxious, or small, that is a clear signal. Trust these feelings. They are your internal compass guiding you away from harm. Emotional awareness is your first defense. Without it, toxicity can disguise itself in charm or concern and slip past your defenses. With it, you gain clarity and the courage to act. Emotional strength is not built by avoiding challenges, but by facing them with clear boundaries. It is forged in the commitment to honor your own needs even when it feels uncomfortable. When you protect your peace, you send a message, both to yourself and to others, that you will no longer tolerate what harms you. You become a force of calm resilience in the chaos. Your boundaries become the foundation of your freedom. This freedom is more than the absence of toxicity. It is the presence of something greater, respect for your soul, clarity in your relationships, and the power to choose your path. Setting boundaries is the quiet rebellion against toxicity, the stand that says you will no longer be diminished. It is the promise you make to yourself every day, to protect your light, to honor your worth, and to live on your own terms. Have you ever felt like someone close to you was quietly tearing you down, but you couldn't quite put your finger on why? That subtle sting of doubt, the unease that lingers after a conversation, the feeling that your energy is drained without reason. These are not accidents. They are signs of hidden toxicity creeping into your life. Toxicity isn't always loud or obvious. It often hides behind smiles, friendly words, and seemingly harmless actions. This silent poison is more dangerous because it erodes your confidence, your peace, and your ability to rise to your true potential. It attacks from within your circle, where you least expect it. But here's the truth. Recognizing this toxicity is not just important. It is essential. It is the gateway to emotional freedom and strength. You deserve to live a life where you feel safe, supported, and inspired by those around you. You deserve relationships that lift you up rather than tear you down. Yet many of us unknowingly invite toxicity into our closest spaces because it wears a mask. The hidden hater is not always the obvious enemy. Sometimes they are disguised as a friend, a family member, or coworker. This person sows seeds of doubt with a smile, masks jealousy as concern, and erodes your self-worth through subtle manipulation. You might have felt it, the uncomfortable tension, the dismissive comments wrapped in jokes, the draining conversations that leave you questioning yourself. These are not your imagination. They are signals from your emotional core telling you something is wrong. What if you could learn to spot these hidden haters before they take root? What if you could protect your energy and reclaim your power? Imagine waking up every day free from the weight of others' negativity. Imagine having the clarity to say no to what drains you, and yes to what fuels your growth. This is not just a dream, it is possible. Emotional strength is not about never feeling hurt. It is about recognizing the damage and choosing to rise above it. It is about building a shield of self-awareness and boundaries that toxicity cannot penetrate. By staying with this message, you are taking the first step toward transformation. You are choosing to break free from the cycle of emotional sabotage. You will learn how to identify the subtle signs of hidden toxicity and how emotionally strong people reclaim their peace and power. This knowledge will give you the tools to protect your heart without closing it off. You will discover that emotional strength is a muscle, one you can build every day through awareness, courage, and deliberate action. This journey is about more than just defending yourself. It is about stepping into your fullest potential. It is about creating a life where your relationships reflect your worth and support your dreams. Toxicity thrives in silence and confusion, but it cannot survive in light and clarity. The more you understand, the stronger you become. The more you act, the more you heal. So ask yourself, are you ready to see clearly, to protect fiercely, and to rise stronger than ever? This is your moment to reclaim your emotional power. Your peace is waiting for you. Toxic relationships do not just hurt your feelings. They damage your entire being. They seep into your thoughts, cloud your judgment, and drain your energy. The cost of carrying toxic people in your life is far greater than you might realize. It's not just about moments of discomfort or occasional conflict. It's about the slow erosion of your self-worth, the way your confidence shrinks with every hidden jab and every dismissive glance. Toxicity chips away at your dreams, makes you question your value, and keeps you trapped in cycles of doubt and fear. The weight it adds to your shoulders can suffocate your spirit, leaving you exhausted and disconnected from your true self. When you allow toxic energy to linger, you become a prisoner of someone else's insecurity and bitterness. Their negativity infects your mind, warping your view of yourself and the world around you. This is why recognizing toxicity isn't optional. It's survival. Every day spent in the presence of hidden haters is a day lost to confusion and self-sabotage. You might begin to wonder if you are the problem, if you are too sensitive, or if you just can't measure up. These thoughts are traps carefully laid to keep you bound. But here's the undeniable truth. The problem is not you. The problem is the toxic presence allowed to feed on your light. Your mind and body respond to toxicity with real stress, raised heart rate, sleepless nights, and heavy fatigue. Toxicity triggers fear and anxiety, activating survival instincts that leave you on edge. Over time, this chronic stress can lead to serious health consequences. Emotional pain is not separate from physical pain. They are intertwined. Ignoring the cost of toxicity is not strength, it is surrender. Real strength is knowing when to protect yourself and choosing to reclaim your peace. Imagine what your life could be like if you stopped allowing toxic voices to dominate your internal dialogue. If you could step back and see clearly the damage being done. Imagine feeling free from the exhaustion that follows toxic encounters, free to focus on your growth and happiness. You deserve this freedom. It is within your reach if you are willing to recognize the cost and make the conscious decision to change. The first step toward healing is acknowledging the real price you pay by tolerating toxicity. It is not selfish to care for your mental and emotional health. It is necessary. This awareness is a powerful weapon. Once you see how deep the damage runs, you gain clarity and motivation to break free. Emotional strength grows from understanding, not just the signs of toxicity, but its true impact on your life. This clarity fuels transformation. When you fully grasp the cost, you refuse to settle for anything less than respect, peace, and genuine connection. You build resilience not by avoiding challenges, but by refusing to accept harm disguised as care or friendship. You learn to value yourself so fiercely that toxicity becomes unbearable to keep near. Your mind, body, and soul are deserving of peace. Toxicity steals more than your happiness. It steals your future. Refuse to let hidden haters dictate your worth. Choose now to reclaim your power, protect your spirit, and invest your energy where it truly belongs, on your growth, your dreams, and your freedom. This choice will change everything. Toxicity often wears a mask so convincing that it can deceive even the most perceptive minds. The hidden hater operates in the shadows of your life, blending in with smiles and kindness while quietly undermining your spirit. These individuals don't wear their hostility openly. They cloak it in subtle digs, jealousy, and disguised criticism. They thrive on creating doubt where there was once confidence, confusion where there was clarity. To protect yourself, you must learn to see beyond the surface. to recognize the patterns beneath the words and gestures. Emotional strength begins with this awareness, a skill that empowers you to spot toxicity before it takes hold. Hidden haters use manipulation cloaked in familiarity. They appear supportive, but their words carry an undercurrent of judgment. They may offer helpful advice designed to diminish your achievements or make you question your choices. They smile while comparing you to others, planting seeds of insecurity that slowly grow into self-doubt. These tactics are intentional. The hidden hater's insecurity drives a need to control your perception of yourself. They want to keep you small because their own strength depends on your weakness. When you recognize these patterns, you reclaim your ability to protect your mind and heart. Your intuition is a powerful guide in this fight. It whispers warnings that are often ignored or dismissed. Pay attention to how you feel after encounters with certain people. Do you leave feeling drained, anxious, or diminished? Those feelings are your mind's way of signaling danger. Trust them. The hidden hater's power lies in their ability to disguise toxicity as friendship or concern. When you tune into your emotional responses, you see through the mask and gain clarity. Emotional strength grows from this trust in yourself. Understanding the psychology behind the hidden hater reveals their vulnerability. Their attacks come from a place of envy, fear, and low self-worth. They attempt to project their inner turmoil onto you, hoping to distract from their own pain. This does not excuse their behavior. It only helps you detach emotionally. When you realize their toxicity is a reflection of their struggle, you no longer absorb it as your truth. Instead, you protect your boundaries with compassion, not confusion or guilt. Spotting a hidden hater is not about labeling or condemning, it is about safeguarding your emotional well-being. It requires clear-eyed honesty and the courage to see uncomfortable truths. Once you identify these toxic influences, you gain the power to limit their impact. You decide how much space they occupy in your life and mind. This control is essential for your growth and happiness. Emotional strength is the ability to set these limits without losing your peace or compassion. You are not powerless against hidden haters. With awareness, intuition, and psychological insight, you build a shield that keeps toxicity at bay. This shield is not built with walls of isolation but with the armor of self-knowledge and boundaries. It is a defense rooted in respect for yourself and your emotional health. The more you strengthen this shield, the less impact hidden haters have on your life. You step into a place of calm resilience where negativity cannot thrive. This clarity is liberating. It allows you to focus your energy where it truly belongs, on your dreams, your values, and your inner peace. Recognizing the hidden hater in your circle is not a moment of despair but a moment of awakening. It is the beginning of your journey to emotional freedom and unshakable strength. Your awareness is your weapon, your boundaries, your fortress. Embrace them, and you take the first step toward reclaiming your power. Emotional strength is not a gift handed to a select few. It is a skill forged through deliberate choice and consistent action. It begins with an unshakable commitment to protect your inner world from harm. This means becoming fiercely aware of the people and situations that drain you, and having the courage to remove or distance yourself from them. It is not weakness to say no to toxicity. It is the bravest act of self-preservation. When you decide to honor your emotional health, you declare that your peace is non-negotiable. This decision rewires your mind, reshaping how you respond to negativity and how you value yourself. Strength is built in moments of discomfort. When you choose boundaries over approval, self-care over obligation, and clarity over confusion. Toxic people often thrive because you tolerate their behavior out of fear of confrontation, rejection, or loneliness. But fear is the enemy of growth. Letting fear dictate your relationships chains you to the very toxicity you seek to escape. Real courage is standing firm in your truth even when it feels risky. Every time you protect your energy by saying no, by stepping away, or by refusing to engage, you grow stronger. You prove to yourself that your well-being matters more than temporary discomfort. This process is a reclaiming of power. Toxicity attempts to make you question your worth and cloud your judgment, but emotional strength cuts through the noise. It sharpens your instincts, teaching you to recognize manipulation and reject it without hesitation. When your boundaries are clear and firm, toxic voices lose their grip. They cannot invade your mind or dim your light. This freedom comes from understanding that your energy is sacred and must be guarded fiercely. To build emotional resilience, you must practice consistent self-awareness. This means checking in with your feelings regularly and honoring them as valid signals. It means refusing to ignore the subtle signs of toxicity because they feel inconvenient. Your emotions are your compass. Ignoring them leads you astray. When you commit to this honesty, you stop feeding the hidden hater's power, Instead, you nurture your inner strength, reinforcing your boundaries with compassion and clarity. Emotional strength is also rooted in forgiveness, not of those who harm you, but of yourself. It is easy to blame yourself for allowing toxic influences in your life. But true growth comes when you release this self-judgment and understand that awareness and change are what matter most. Forgive yourself for past tolerance, for missed signs, and for moments of weakness. Each day is a new opportunity to choose differently. This forgiveness frees you from guilt and empowers you to move forward with confidence. The transformation you seek is not distant, it begins now, with every choice to protect your peace and prioritize your growth. You are not helpless against toxicity. You are the architect of your emotional world. Each boundary you set, each toxic pattern you refuse to tolerate, and each moment of self-respect strengthens your foundation. This foundation supports a life where you no longer live in fear of hidden haters but live in full command of your emotional sovereignty. Your power lies within you, waiting to be claimed. Embrace it fiercely. Guard your peace with unwavering determination. Build your strength with every deliberate choice. This is how emotionally strong people handle toxicity. They see it clearly, stand firm against it, and rise beyond it. Your journey to that strength starts now. When toxicity enters your life, it challenges your sense of identity and distorts your self-perception. It feeds on your insecurities and magnifies your doubts, making you question who you are and what you truly deserve. The hidden hater's goal is not just to bring you down in the moment, but to implant a lasting narrative that you are unworthy, incapable, or flawed. This toxic script can replay in your mind, shaping your thoughts and actions long after the encounter ends. But here lies the secret of emotional strength. You have the power to rewrite this narrative. You are not defined by the opinions or actions of others. Your worth is intrinsic, untouchable by negativity disguised as care or critique. Reclaiming your identity begins with self-awareness and unwavering belief in your value. When toxic voices whisper lies, you must counter them with truth. This requires daily practice, reminding yourself of your strengths, your progress, and your dreams. Your internal dialogue is the battlefield where emotional strength is won or lost. Choose to be your fiercest ally, not your harshest critic. When you nurture positive self-talk, you build resilience against toxicity's corrosive effects. This inner foundation cannot be shaken by the hidden haters because it is anchored in reality, your truth. Toxicity tries to isolate you by undermining your connections and fueling doubt about who you can trust. Emotionally strong people understand that true connection requires discernment, not blind loyalty. Protecting your circle means choosing relationships that honor your worth and challenge you to grow. It means recognizing when someone's presence drains rather than energizes you. This is not rejection of others, it is protection of yourself. Your time and energy are finite resources. Investing them wisely ensures that your life is filled with genuine support and encouragement, not hidden agendas or veiled attacks. Strength comes from embracing this discernment without guilt or apology. You do not owe anyone your peace. When you distance yourself from toxicity, you create space for healing and growth. You allow your mind to rest and your spirit to recover. This restoration is essential for building the emotional stamina to face life's challenges with clarity and courage. Emotional strength is a cycle. Setting boundaries leads to healing, which fuels greater resilience, enabling you to set even stronger boundaries. This cycle transforms your relationship with yourself and others. You become a magnet for positivity because you refuse to tolerate anything less. Toxicity loses power when confronted by your unwavering standards. Hidden haters thrive in environments of confusion and compromise. When you stand firm, they retreat. You send a silent message that your peace is not negotiable. This shift changes everything: your energy, your confidence, your trajectory. Your transformation is rooted in daily choices to honor your worth and protect your emotional landscape. It requires constant vigilance and courage, but the reward is profound. You gain freedom from the chains of hidden toxicity and step into a life defined by clarity, respect, and strength. The world may always have its shadows, but you will carry a light that cannot be dimmed. This light is your emotional power, steady, resilient, unbreakable. Guard it fiercely. Nourish it constantly. It will guide you through the darkness, showing you how emotionally strong people handle toxicity, with unwavering truth, fierce boundaries, and a heart anchored in self-respect. Your journey to this strength is your most powerful choice. Choose it now. Every encounter with toxicity tests more than just your patience. It challenges your sense of control over your own life. Emotional strength is born in the refusal to give away that control, even when faced with manipulation and hidden hostility. Toxic people seek to hijack your mind, to pull your emotions into chaos where they can dominate. But true power lies in mastering your reactions. You cannot always choose who enters your life, but you can choose how you respond. This choice is the foundation of emotional sovereignty, the unbreakable command over your inner world that no external toxicity can breach. Mastering your reactions requires deep self-awareness and intentional practice. It means recognizing the moment toxicity tries to penetrate your defenses and consciously deciding not to engage in the negative energy. This does not mean ignoring reality or suppressing emotions. It means observing without surrender. You watch the toxic waves approach, but instead of letting them sweep you away, you stand firm like a rooted tree in a storm. Your emotions are acknowledged, but they do not control you. This mastery frees you from the cycle of reactive pain and regret that toxicity often causes. The power of choice in emotional response is often underestimated. Toxicity tries to provoke anger, hurt, or self-doubt because these reactions feed its destructive agenda. When you refuse to react impulsively, you deny toxicity its fuel. Your calm, grounded presence is the antidote to chaos. It unsettles the hidden hater who thrives on emotional turmoil because it exposes their weakness. This calm is not passive. It is an active, courageous stand that reclaims your energy and your peace. Cultivating this response takes discipline, but it is also deeply liberating. You begin to understand that your value and happiness do not depend on others' opinions or actions. Your emotional state is yours to govern, no matter the external storm. This realization empowers you to approach toxicity with a mindset of detachment rather than entanglement. You learn to see toxicity as a reflection of others' inner battles rather than your own failure. This perspective shift creates emotional distance, which is essential for protection and growth. When you master your reactions, boundaries become stronger. You no longer allow toxic behavior to provoke guilt, confusion, or obligation. Instead, you respond with clarity and resolve. This reinforces your self-respect and signals to others that you will not be a target. Emotional strength is evident in this firmness, the ability to say no internally and externally, to preserve your peace without aggression or fear. This mastery extends beyond your interactions with toxic people. It transforms your entire approach to life. You become a force of calm resilience in every challenge. Toxicity loses its power because you have shifted the power dynamic. You control your emotional space. This control ignites confidence, allowing you to pursue your goals and dreams without distraction or hesitation. The hidden haters become powerless when faced with a mind that is unshakable and a heart that is steady. You are not a victim of toxicity, you are the guardian of your emotional kingdom. Every choice you make to master your reactions builds this kingdom stronger. Your peace, your power, and your freedom depend on it. Embrace this mastery as your greatest weapon. With it, you rise above hidden hate, unbreakable and victorious. The power to protect your emotional world is not an abstract ideal. It is a practical skill that shapes every moment of your life. It begins with the unyielding commitment to guard your energy as fiercely as you would guard your physical well-being. Toxicity drains more than your mood, it erodes your confidence, your clarity, and your ability to pursue what matters most. Emotionally strong people understand this deeply. They know that every interaction is a choice to either invest or protect their energy. This awareness transforms relationships from sources of exhaustion into arenas of growth and support. When you make protecting your energy a priority, you stop giving undue power to negativity disguised as familiarity. The hidden hater relies on your tolerance of their behavior. They count on you to minimize your own pain to preserve their presence. But emotional strength demands something different. It demands that you place your well-being above convenience or fear of confrontation. This shift is radical because it forces you to rewrite the rules you live by. It requires courage to say no, to walk away, or to distance yourself without guilt. Yet this courage is the cornerstone of true freedom. Energy protection is not about building walls. It is about building filters. Filters that discern who deserves your time, your attention, and your trust. Filters that allow you to engage fully with those who uplift you and disengage gracefully from those who bring chaos. This discernment is a muscle strengthened by practice. It grows when you listen deeply to your body's signals, fatigue, anxiety, hesitation, and honor them as early warnings. It grows when you refuse to dismiss your feelings as overreactions. Your emotional responses are not obstacles, they are guides leading you toward healthier choices. This protective filter creates space for clarity. When you limit exposure to toxicity, your mind sharpens, your goals come into focus. The noise of doubt and fear quiets, making room for confidence and resolve. This clarity is not a gift. It is the result of intentional effort to purge what does not serve you. Emotional strength emerges as a byproduct of this clarity, fueling resilience and persistence. You become immune to the distraction and disruption that hidden haters attempt to create. This immunity is transformative. It turns your emotional environment from a battlefield into a sanctuary, a place where your true self can flourish without fear of sabotage. The sanctuary you build through energy protection sustains you in times of stress and amplifies your joy in times of success. It is a source of unshakable peace that others cannot steal or diminish. This peace is the ultimate act of rebellion against toxicity, a declaration that your spirit remains whole and unbroken. When you commit to protecting your energy, you take control of your life's trajectory. You stop reacting to toxicity as if it were inevitable and start steering your course with intention and strength. This control is empowering because it roots you in your values and your truth. It teaches you that emotional strength is not about avoiding pain. It is about refusing to let pain define or destroy you. It is about rising above time and again, with a heart that remains open and a mind that remains clear. Your energy is your most valuable asset. Guard it wisely. Protect it fiercely. In doing so, you step fully into the power and peace that define emotionally strong people. You become the master of your inner world and the architect of a life where toxicity holds no dominion. This is your birthright. Claim it now. True emotional strength is not found in isolation but in the clarity with which you see yourself and others. It demands ruthless honesty, a refusal to pretend that toxic relationships are something they are not. It means acknowledging the hidden haters in your circle without fear or denial. This recognition is not a sign of weakness or judgment. It is a vital act of self-care and empowerment. When you see toxicity clearly, you strip it of its power to confuse, manipulate, and erode your spirit. This clarity becomes your shield, protecting you from illusions that once trapped your heart and mind. The courage to face toxicity head-on requires a shift in mindset. You must view toxicity not as a reflection of your failure, but as an external force that seeks to test your boundaries. This perspective frees you from the trap of self-blame and shame, which only deepen emotional wounds. Instead, you understand that toxicity is a challenge to be met with strength and strategy. It is an invitation to rise above, to strengthen your defenses, and to reclaim your peace. This mindset fuels resilience. It transforms pain into power and doubt into determination. When you embrace this clarity and courage, your ability to protect yourself intensifies. You no longer tolerate subtle jabs, passive aggression, or disguised criticism. You recognize these behaviors as red flags signaling hidden hostility. Emotional strength gives you the resolve to confront these dynamics or to remove yourself entirely. This action is not about winning a battle. It is about honoring your worth and refusing to be diminished. Your peace and growth become non-negotiable, and you develop a zero-tolerance policy for anything that undermines them. This zero-tolerance stance requires fierce self-respect. It demands that you prioritize your emotional health over the approval of others. Toxic people often thrive because you place their needs or validation above your own well-being. Breaking this pattern means shifting from people-pleasing to self-preserving. It means choosing your peace over temporary acceptance, your growth over fleeting comfort. This choice is the essence of emotional strength. It is a declaration that you value yourself enough to walk away from anything less than respect and kindness. Fierce self-respect reshapes your relationships profoundly. It attracts those who uplift and support you while repelling hidden haters who cannot thrive in your presence. This magnetic effect is not accidental. It is the natural outcome of boundaries set with conviction and love. When you hold yourself in high regard, others are compelled to do the same. This dynamic changes your social landscape, creating a circle that fuels your dreams rather than drains your spirit. This transformation is deeply liberating. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of doubt, apology, and compromise. Instead, you move forward with clarity, confidence, and courage. You become an unshakable force in your own life, capable of navigating challenges with grace and strength. The hidden haters lose their grip because you refuse to give it to them. You protect your peace fiercely and live authentically, fully aware that emotional strength is your greatest power. This power is yours to claim every day. It begins with seeing toxicity clearly, responding with courage, and prioritizing self-respect above all else. Embrace this power. Guard it jealously. Let it fuel your rise beyond hidden hate into a life of true peace and unbreakable strength. Got it. If you want me to help with anything else, like polishing, expanding, or formatting the full script, Or if you need another script outline or motivational content, just say the word. Ready whenever you are. The journey to emotional strength demands more than just setting boundaries and recognizing toxicity. It calls for unwavering self-trust. When you trust yourself deeply, you become immune to the doubt and confusion that hidden haters try to sow. Self-trust is the silent force that anchors your decisions, guides your intuition, and shields your spirit from manipulation. It is the inner compass that never wavers, even when the voices around you attempt to steer you off course. Without this trust, every word, every action from others can feel like a trial, shaking your confidence and clouding your judgment. But with it, you stand firm, unshaken and clear. Developing this self-trust requires listening to your inner voice without hesitation or dismissal. It means honoring your feelings as valid signals rather than overreactions or weaknesses. Toxicity thrives when you doubt your own perceptions, when you question your sense of reality because of someone else's narrative. When you stop second-guessing yourself, you reclaim your power. You become the authority on what is true for you, what is acceptable, and what must be released. This authority transforms your interactions. You no longer plead for explanations or validations. Instead, you act decisively because you know your truth. Self-trust fuels courage, the courage to say no, to walk away, and to demand respect. It strengthens your voice so that it no longer trembles in the face of criticism or subtle sabotage. The hidden hater relies on your silence and confusion. Self-trust dismantles their influence by empowering your clarity and confidence. This clarity is not arrogance, it is grounded awareness rooted in self-knowledge. When you trust yourself, you see toxicity for what it is, a reflection of others' struggles, not a reflection of your worth. This trust also nurtures patience and compassion toward yourself. You recognize that growth is not linear, and that healing from toxic encounters takes time. Instead of punishing yourself for perceived mistakes or tolerating harmful behaviors out of fear, you give yourself grace. You understand that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. This compassion softens the harsh inner critic that toxicity often awakens, replacing it with a supportive inner dialogue that encourages resilience and renewal. The strength born from self-trust is contagious. It radiates through your presence and influences your relationships positively. People sense when you are rooted in your own truth, and this attracts respect and authenticity. You no longer seek approval because your self-worth is no longer dependent on external sources. This independence disarms hidden haters because it denies them the leverage of doubt and insecurity. When self-trust guides you, your emotional boundaries become effortless. You no longer negotiate your peace, you protect it naturally. You move through life with a quiet confidence that cannot be shaken by toxic interference. This inner power fuels every choice, every interaction, every moment of your life. It is the foundation of emotional strength, the unshakable core that keeps you steady in the face of hidden hate. Trust yourself fiercely. Let your intuition be your guide and your shield. In this trust, you find freedom, the freedom to rise above toxicity and live boldly in your truth. This is the heart of emotional strength, waiting for you to claim it now. Emotional strength demands that you become the guardian of your own mind, the protector of your inner world. Toxicity invades not just through words or actions, but through the stories you tell yourself. The hidden hater's most potent weapon is the ability to plant seeds of doubt and fear within your thoughts, creating a mental storm that paralyzes your spirit. To rise above, you must reclaim control over your mind. You must decide what thoughts you allow to live and grow, and which ones you uproot immediately. This mental sovereignty is not optional. It is essential for your survival and flourishing. This control begins with awareness. You must observe your thoughts without judgment, noticing when negativity, fear, or self-doubt tries to take root. Toxic influences often disguise themselves as facts or necessary worries. They masquerade as valid concerns, but their true purpose is to distract and diminish your potential. Recognizing these patterns as external intrusions, not truths, allows you to break free from their grip. You start to respond to your thoughts intentionally, rather than reacting impulsively or spiraling into despair. Choosing your thoughts consciously strengthens your emotional resilience. When negativity arises, you challenge it with truth, compassion, and perspective. You remind yourself of your worth, your progress, and your capacity to overcome. This practice rewires your mind to focus on empowerment rather than limitation. It creates a mental environment where confidence, hope, and clarity can thrive. In this environment, hidden haters lose their influence because their lies cannot survive in the light of your truth. Mental sovereignty also means setting firm limits on what you consume, both information and energy. Toxicity is amplified by overexposure to negativity, gossip, or drama. Emotionally strong people protect their mental space by curating what they allow in. They prioritize input that uplifts, educates, and inspires. They choose connections and content that fuel growth rather than drain vitality. This selective intake creates a powerful feedback loop. The healthier your mental diet, the stronger your mind becomes, and the easier it is to resist toxic influences. This disciplined mindset is a daily commitment. It requires constant vigilance and the courage to cut ties with what no longer serves your well-being. But the reward is immense, a mind fortified with clarity, peace, and unwavering focus. With this strength, you navigate challenges without being hijacked by fear or doubt. You make decisions grounded in your values and vision, not in reactive emotion or external pressure. Reclaiming your mental sovereignty transforms your entire existence. It empowers you to live with intention and freedom. It dismantles the power toxic people have over you and replaces it with your own unbreakable power. When your mind is your sanctuary, your spirit is unstoppable. This sanctuary is built not by avoiding reality, but by mastering your response to it. Take ownership of your mind today. Guard it fiercely. Choose your thoughts like precious seeds, planting only those that will grow into strength, peace, and unshakable confidence. This mental mastery is your birthright and your most powerful defense against hidden hate. Claim it now and watch your life transform from the inside out. True emotional strength is revealed not only in how you protect yourself from toxicity, but also in how you nurture your inner world with intentional self-care. This care is not a luxury, it is a necessity. The hidden hater feeds on your depletion, your exhaustion, your silence when you feel too worn down to fight back. When you prioritize your emotional well-being, you create an unshakable foundation that no external negativity can dismantle. Self-care is the armor that supports your resilience, the fuel that replenishes your courage, and the reminder that you are worthy of peace and respect. This nurturing begins with honoring your feelings, especially the difficult ones. Emotional strength does not mean suppressing pain or discomfort. It means allowing yourself to fully feel, acknowledge, and then intentionally release those emotions. Toxicity often leaves invisible wounds, resentment, anger, sadness, that, if ignored, fester and weaken your spirit. Embracing your emotions honestly and compassionately gives them space to heal. It transforms vulnerability into strength, turning emotional awareness into a powerful tool for self-preservation. Self-care also means setting aside time and energy for what restores you deeply, whether it's quiet reflection, physical movement, creative expression, or simply moments of stillness. These acts of restoration are not indulgent escapes. They are deliberate choices to reinforce your emotional core. When you invest in yourself this way, you reinforce a crucial truth. You deserve care, kindness, and renewal. This mindset gradually rewires your relationship with yourself from one of neglect or doubt to one of unconditional support and respect. Importantly, nurturing your inner world requires you to reject the false narrative that self-care is selfish. It is the opposite. By caring for yourself, you build the strength necessary to engage with the world authentically and powerfully. You prevent the hidden hater's poison from corroding your spirit because your well-being is not contingent on others' approval or presence. Instead, your well-being is a non-negotiable priority that sustains your growth and joy. This commitment to self-care elevates your entire existence. It influences how you interact with others, how you handle conflict, and how you pursue your goals. When your energy is replenished, your mind is clear, and your heart is steady. You operate from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. You become less reactive and more intentional. This intentionality breaks the cycle of toxicity by refusing to engage with negativity on its terms. Instead, you respond with grace, strength, and unwavering self-respect. Nurturing yourself also sharpens your intuition, the inner wisdom that guides you toward healthy connections and away from harm. When you are emotionally nourished, you are more attuned to subtle signals of hidden hate before they escalate. This attunement allows you to act preemptively, protecting your peace before it is threatened. It empowers you to build a circle of trust and support that amplifies your strength rather than diminishes it. This is the essence of emotional strength, the balance of fierce protection and gentle care. Guard your spirit with resolve, but nurture it with love. Prioritize your healing and renewal daily. This powerful practice transforms you into an unbreakable force, capable of rising above toxicity with grace and confidence. Your peace is worth every effort. Claim it fiercely and watch yourself thrive beyond the reach of hidden hate. The power to reclaim your peace lies in mastering the art of detachment. Emotional strength is not about building walls of indifference, but about choosing what deserves your energy and what does not. Toxic people and hidden haters thrive on your reaction. They feed on your emotional investment, your need to defend or explain yourself. When you learn to detach with clarity and calm, you strip away their power to control your feelings and actions. This detachment is a conscious decision to prioritize your well-being over the chaos they create. It is a boundary formed within your mind and heart, allowing you to engage only when it serves your growth and retreat when it threatens your peace. Detachment is a form of respect for yourself and your emotional limits. It means recognizing that you cannot change others or force them to be kind, but you can control your response. This control is the ultimate freedom, the freedom to refuse toxic narratives, to let go of grudges, and to protect your energy from unnecessary battles. It is a practice of choosing peace over provocation, strength over reaction. Detachment allows you to observe negativity without being consumed by it, to acknowledge hurt without being defined by it. This emotional discipline is not about suppressing feelings or becoming cold. It is about cultivating a steady core that holds firm amid external storms. When you detach, you create space between your identity and the toxicity around you. This space becomes a sanctuary where you can breathe, reflect, and respond with intention rather than impulse. It protects your self-worth from being entangled in someone else's bitterness or jealousy. Detachment teaches you that your value is inherent and independent of others' approval or disdain. Practicing detachment deepens your awareness of your emotional triggers and vulnerabilities. It encourages self-reflection and growth by highlighting areas where you may unconsciously seek validation or fear abandonment. This insight is liberating because it illuminates the paths toward healing and empowerment. As you become more emotionally intelligent, you stop falling into reactive patterns and begin choosing responses that align with your highest self. Detachment becomes a tool for transformation rather than avoidance. Moreover, detachment empowers you to cultivate healthier relationships. By not engaging with toxicity, you create space for genuine connections based on respect, trust, and mutual support. You no longer tolerate disrespect disguised as love or concern. Instead, you demand and offer authenticity and kindness. This shift raises your standards and inspires those around you to match your emotional strength. Detachment is not isolation. It is selective engagement that honors your peace and promotes your growth. This practice requires courage and persistence. It challenges the instinct to fix or explain others' behavior and invites you to focus on your inner harmony. Each time you choose detachment, you reinforce your resilience and reclaim your power. The hidden hater loses influence because you no longer supply the emotional fuel they need. Instead, you direct your energy toward what truly matters: your healing, your dreams, and your freedom. Embrace detachment as your shield and your strength. Let it protect your mind and heart from toxic entanglement. In this space of calm and clarity, you find your true power, the ability to rise above hidden hate and live fully, freely, and fiercely in your own truth. Your inner strength is fueled by the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you deserve. Toxicity distorts this narrative, whispering lies that erode your confidence and cloud your vision. Hidden haters aim to rewrite your story, making you doubt your worth and question your purpose. Emotional strength emerges when you reclaim authorship of your own life. You must become the conscious creator of your personal narrative, choosing words that empower, heal, and inspire you to rise beyond limitations. This reclamation is a radical act of self-love and defiance against the subtle sabotage of toxicity. Every thought, every belief you nurture becomes a thread in the tapestry of your identity. When you allow negativity to weave into this fabric, it weakens the whole. But when you intentionally weave resilience, courage, and self-respect, your inner world becomes a fortress. This fortress does not reject reality or ignore pain. It acknowledges challenges, but refuses to be defined by them. Your story is not the sum of others' judgments or the weight of their bitterness. It is the expression of your truth, your strength, and your capacity to transform adversity into growth. Rewrite your internal dialogue with unwavering honesty and kindness. Challenge the toxic scripts that tell you you're not enough, not worthy, or not capable. Replace them with truths rooted in your experiences, your victories, and your potential. Speak to yourself as you would to someone you deeply care about, with encouragement, compassion, and belief. This inner conversation shapes your emotional resilience because it builds a foundation of self-trust. When you trust yourself, external negativity loses its foothold. This process requires awareness and practice. It means catching the moments when self-doubt creeps in and confronting it immediately. It means refusing to accept the quiet voice of self-criticism as fact. Instead, you question it, examine it, and rewrite it. This act of mental editing is not easy. It demands discipline and courage. But it is the most powerful way to neutralize the influence of hidden haters because they thrive on your internal confusion and self-sabotage. By controlling your narrative, you also reclaim your emotional energy. Negative self-talk drains your vitality and weakens your resolve. Positive, intentional storytelling replenishes it, creating a cycle of empowerment. This energy fuels your actions, your dreams, and your ability to rise each day with renewed purpose. The stories you tell yourself become the compass that guides your decisions, relationships, and growth. When your narrative is strong and clear, you navigate life with confidence and grace. This reclamation is more than an individual act. It transforms how you relate to the world. It raises your standards for how others treat you and how you engage with challenges. You no longer tolerate subtle disrespect or hidden agendas. Instead, you operate from a place of clarity and strength, knowing your worth and boundaries. Your story becomes a beacon, attracting respect, authenticity, and support. It repels toxicity because it is built on unwavering self-respect and unshakable truth. Own your story, write it with courage, honesty, and love. Let it be the foundation of your emotional strength, the shield that guards you against hidden hate. When you do, you become unstoppable, rooted in your power, rising beyond toxicity and living a life defined by your deepest truth. True emotional strength reveals itself not only in how you defend yourself against toxicity, but in how you choose to nurture your soul beyond it. You are not defined by what others say or do, you are shaped by the care and attention you give yourself. When you shift your focus inward, away from the chaos of hidden hate, you begin to heal the wounds that toxic people try to deepen. Self-care is not selfish. It is an act of radical survival. It rebuilds the bridge between your mind and heart, restoring your energy and reinforcing your resilience. To withstand the storm of negativity, you must first become a sanctuary for yourself, a place of calm, compassion, and renewal. Nurturing your soul means committing to habits that replenish your emotional reserves. It means prioritizing rest when your spirit is weary, speaking kindly to yourself when doubt arises, and surrounding yourself with what uplifts and inspires. This nourishment fuels your ability to stay grounded when faced with hostility or betrayal. Toxicity tries to drain you by sowing confusion and exhaustion, but self-care replenishes your well of strength. It is the foundation that supports your boundaries and empowers you to stand firm. Without it, resilience falters. With it, you become unbreakable. This inner sanctuary you create is not a retreat from reality, but a powerful base from which you can engage with the world authentically and courageously. It allows you to respond to toxicity with clarity rather than anger, with wisdom rather than fear. When you nurture your soul, you reclaim control over your emotional state. You choose peace over chaos and growth over stagnation. This choice is a form of rebellion against those who try to dim your light. It is a declaration that your well-being matters more than their negativity. Self-care also deepens your connection to your true self. It helps you listen to your needs, acknowledge your limits, and celebrate your progress. This awareness strengthens your emotional intelligence, giving you the insight to navigate relationships wisely. You learn to recognize what nourishes you and what harms you. This clarity sharpens your discernment, allowing you to distance yourself from hidden haters who seek to infiltrate your life. It teaches you that your energy is sacred and must be guarded fiercely. Investing in your soul cultivates hope and optimism, even in the face of hardship. It reminds you that you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. This reminder ignites the courage to keep moving forward when toxicity tries to hold you back. It fuels the fire of transformation, turning pain into power and setbacks into stepping stones. The more you nurture yourself, the stronger your emotional armor becomes, until negativity bounces off without penetrating. Remember, the path to emotional strength is paved with daily acts of self-care. It is not a one-time fix, but a continuous commitment to honoring yourself. This commitment is the clearest message you can send to hidden haters. It says you will not be broken, you will not be diminished, and you will rise every time you fall. In nurturing your soul, you claim your power and build a life where toxicity cannot survive. This is the essence of true strength. A fierce love for yourself that protects, empowers, and transforms. The strongest emotional armor is built not from denial or avoidance, but from the power of clear, unwavering boundaries. Setting boundaries is a declaration of self-respect, a fierce act of protection that communicates what you will and will not tolerate. Toxicity thrives in the absence of limits. It slips through cracks created by uncertainty and fear. But when you define your borders clearly, when you stand firm in your values and needs, you create a force field that repels negativity. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate, they are gates that allow only what serves your growth and peace to enter your life. To set boundaries effectively, you must first know yourself deeply, your worth, your limits, your deal breakers. This self-knowledge is a compass that guides you through complex emotional terrain. Without it, you risk allowing toxicity to erode your spirit bit by bit. But with it, every boundary becomes a statement of power, a refusal to be diminished by hidden haters. It is a practice of courage to say no when you need to step away from relationships that drain you, and to protect your time and energy fiercely. These actions are not acts of aggression. They are expressions of love for yourself. Boundaries also teach others how to treat you. When you clearly communicate what is acceptable and what is not, you shift the dynamics of your relationships. Toxic people are confronted by your strength and clarity.